Bardown Beauties with Jessi and Kirsten Kroll. Two hockey minds trapped in bodies that can't skate. They may have never laced them up, but they'll break it all down with sharp takes and plenty of laughs. This is Hockey Talk, the Beauties way.
Hello, everybody. What's up? Beauts, episode 295. Jessi Pierce, Kirsten Kroll, coming at you hot. First of all, Kirsten, good morning. Hello. Hockey Halloween weekend officially closes. Can you imagine if the Minnesota Wild did not get a victory on Saturday and they had their Halloween party? I imagine we weren't seeing any Halloween posts yesterday. We did. We got blessed with them, but it had to have been because that victory helped celebrate a little bit more.
Yeah, I really don't think we ever would have known, never would have seen anything had they not had got a win over that weekend. That would have been tough.
Some good costumes for our Minnesota Wild players. First of all, I question this every time. Like, why do we love this so much? Like, is it just because it's the glimpse behind the curtain into like the wags too? Like, I feel like it's beyond just seeing the guys dressed up, but you get to see like their girlfriends or their friends or like, I don't know. I don't know why we like it so much.
It's absolutely because we don't see that much personality. We don't see their personal lives because also like most of them never post on their social media anyways, like let alone if they have social media. So for fans, I don't know. I think it's cool just to be like celebrities. They're just like us.
I know. It's probably it,
dress
right?
up for Halloween.
I always just feel weird. Like, I like when the teams post it because then you're not like stalking down other, like trying to find individual posts from people because I think that's weird. Like when the league tries to take those, I'm not a big fan of it. That being said, so you had Marcus Foligno as, I'm guessing, Michael Jackson with, I'm thinking his wife was Madonna. That was what I was giving. I loved Jared Spurgeon as Lorax and his wife as the bad guy in that show. Who did you like in particular for your Minnesota Wild costumes? I did notice your boys, Jonas Brodin and Joel Eriksson appeared to be absent for the team photo unless they were disguised very well.
Yeah, I didn't see them either, but also I don't know, some of them, maybe they were just dressed up really well because I was looking in there and I'm like, I don't know who you are. So I don't know.
I'm going to guess like a Ben Jones. You didn't know who he was, though.
Probably the Ben Jones of the group.
Yeah.
No, I loved Spurgeon's. Otherwise, like none of them really did it for me. At least not on our team. There's one in the league.
Who?
Nick Foligno as Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Eagles. But not only that, Nick Sirianni then dressing up as Nick Foligno, like iconic. That one Halloween for me, that was so good. That was just, they're twins.
They're twins. Like,
so the fact that both of them were just like in on the joke and did that, incredible. Love.
Yeah. Agreed. I like it even more so, yeah, that Sirianni did it and repaid him back because I feel like Foligno's been on that train. He's like, yeah, we do kind of look alike. And then I didn't know if Sirianni ever felt the same way, but to see him confirm that, yeah, I think for the Wild, I think the Lorax, I just think that Lorax costume is so funny. Like, I do think I want to do that next year. I think it's so ridiculous, just wearing a tight little orange bodysuit with a big mustache. Like, I just think that's so funny. I love that it was Kirill and Danila paired up as like race car drivers too, which I thought was just kind of funny.
Big F1 guys.
Yeah, it's like that was pretty good. Otherwise, you're right. They were pretty basic costumes that I saw. I'm trying to think from across the board of other teams. I do love when they go so elaborate, right? Because they have a little bit more money to spend, right? They're not hunting down at Goodwill like I am. Like they get to put a little bit more effort into their costumes. Like even I think there were a couple Pirates of the Caribbean for the Minnesota Wild, but they had the full on like what is it called? Oh my gosh. What am I trying to octopus.
I was going to try to help you. I did not know where you were going.
I don't know why I kept wanting to say October, but like the octopus face mask for one of those bad guys. I don't know. It was just kind of good. But yeah, it's nice. Celebratory. Yeah. That being said, we got to see it again after the Minnesota Wild finally snap a 5-game losing streak because they were going to have to win a game eventually. They do it against a very mid-level Vancouver Canucks, very injury-riddled Vancouver Canucks squad. Kirsten, that victory Saturday, is it something that you're going to continue to see? Like, do you think that there was enough good to pull from that, or was it them just finally getting their break that they needed against a bad team and try not to celebrate too hard?
I think for them, it was more of them getting out of their own heads. Like, I think it was weighing so heavily on the team that they hadn't been getting a win, let alone regulation win. I think that was heavily weighing. And so I think maybe now, I don't know, because it just got to the point, it was like you can tell they're gripping their sticks a little bit too hard. Maybe they're overthinking the plays that they're making. So I think now maybe that this allows them just to relax a little bit more and be like, okay, we needed this. This was the break that we were desperately seeking. And so I think maybe this allows them to turn the page.
It's the first
I
60
say
minute.
hopefully.
Yeah, right? Like hopeful, like that's all you can be is hopeful on it. First 60-minute game, in my opinion, that I've seen them play, or as close to a 60-minute game, because certainly they jump out to the lead. The nice thing is they didn't trail at all in the game either, which is something we have not seen since I believe the St. Louis victory in game one of the season. And then you were getting contributions up and down the lineup. You have Vladimir Tarasenko hop in on the scoring train. You had Vinny Hinostroza. You had not just your Kirill and Boldy who are back together, which I think you got to keep until Matt Zuccarello returns, which could be as early as this week, maybe even next week. We'll see. We talked to John Hines later today, but I think for me, that's the promising aspect. They got a little bit back to the identity that we've known them to have. The effort was there kind of continuously from puck drop. They won some faceoffs, like all those things that sound so simple that you need to do in hockey, truly, in my opinion, Kirsten, had been absent prior to this game against Vancouver.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I don't know, too. I think Tarasenko, too, we talk about him so heavily. He was one that I was excited to see. I think we're going to start seeing more, maybe not entirely. It might be dramatic to say that we'd see like St. Louis Tarasenko, but we're not getting Detroit. Words. We're not getting Detroit Vladimir Tarasenko. I think now we're starting to get him going more. 1 goal, 2 assists the other night. And also, too, I just what you alluded to, just all the different goal scorers stepping up. You see the defense clicking a little bit more. Jonas Brodin kind of finding his groove seemingly against Vancouver. So there was a lot of promise coming out of that. And then Ryan Hartman, too. He's been continuing to play super well right now as well. So
yeah,
lots of glimmers of good things.
Right. And we like our shiny things. Not the easiest of schedules coming up. It's kind of a little up and down this week. Let me just run it by you. So currently, the Minnesota Wild sits at 49 goals allowed and a 3.77 goals allowed per game, which is 4th most in the league. Their PK is clicking at just a 64.3%, which is narrowly better than Ottawa for 31st in the league. 48% in faceoff wins, which is 21st in the league. 30 shots per game, which is actually 7th in the league. So goods and bads, they are facing Nashville at home, Kirsten, to close out the 6-game homestand, which right now, again, only has 1 victory on it. Not great. Then they go to Carolina on Thursday, first of a back-to-back, because then they're at the New York Islanders, who Matt Schaefer crushing it as a rookie out there. They're there Friday, and then they come back home for the very, very bad Calgary Flames on Sunday. How do you think this week is going to go for them? Do you think that some of those numbers start to come up? Do you think they start scoring more goals and start allowing less? I think for me, that is obviously crucial.
Yeah, I agree. Carolina, I don't know.
Tough go.
That's a tough go. It's not like a good thing. I'm not like, you never root for anyone to get injured, but Seth Jarvis being injured now for Carolina, that does a little bit of a favor. Nashville should win. Preds in the community. If you know, you know. That skit was incredible. And that Nashville did it to themselves over the summer by having like 3 players out, like legitimately at like
I didn't even know
a
that
community
was an actual
event, and the t-shirt literally said Preds in the community. Oh my God, it was so funny. That if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the Saturday Night Live skit, go look it up online. Absolutely incredible.
First thing I saw Sunday morning, I was like, oh, and I love me some Miles Teller. He's like one of my top celebrity crushes. So it was like having him as the National Predator. They had the New York Rangers and the LA Kings, and the whole theme is like, oh, we're the Kings and we're the Rangers in the community. But then when you actually do think about it at the heart, when you say I'm a predator in the community, it doesn't
so
land.
Funny. So freaking funny. And he's like, I don't want to say this. I'm gonna go to Thailand and hopefully touch some kids.
Hopefully touch
I'm quoting the skit, guys. I'm quoting the skit. So good. So funny. Especially too, like I love a little bit of like the darker humor.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Very inappropriate humor is what I'm all about. So I thought it was just fantastic.
I think it was better than the Let's Do That Hockey one almost.
I didn't like the Let's Do That Hockey one. I thought that was dumb.
I thought it was good to like grasp that because you have the Brady Shea connection, right? You're like, oh, he's from us. He's from Minnesota. We know him. But like, I thought it was kind of funny. I didn't mind it. And
Mhm.
again, I think anytime we see hockey in pop culture and that crossover, we as hockey people get so excited because it doesn't happen often, right? Like it's
It
easy to
doesn't,
do for every other sport, and hockey never gets that recognition
unless you're a predator in the community.
unless you're a predator in the community. Do you think they beat the Predators in St. Paul?
Yeah, and I absolutely think we're gonna roast them at home. And if we don't,
Oh
missed
yeah.
opportunity.
Hey, I know some people in game ops, don't you? I think you get
I know one or two people.
you could probably say we have a grand opportunity here. And I did like the Predators' response too, which if anybody watches Euphoria, they reference that and they tweeted the SNL skit. They're like, wait, is this effing play about us? Like, which I thought was
Love
quite
it.
brilliant as well.
Love it.
Um, my only concern about Nashville is sometimes Minnesota just really underperforms against the Predators, right? Like I think you need to string these games together. It's great that you won Saturday. You need to string these together, which yes, it's going to be
Mhm.
a tall order on that back-to-back road trip. Um, but show me something real. Show me something more tangible. Because again, doing it against Vancouver, who was without Quinn Hughes, who was without, I think, a number of top quality players, but Quinn Hughes to me, the biggest one. Plus, you're getting Nashville on the second half of a back-to-back. I need complete domination from top to front. Like, I need you to just let's pot 7 goals, 7-2 score, right? Like, let's go.
I agree. I don't know. I'm still disappointed in my little Nashville. They should be better than they are, and they are not.
They might start shopping a Steven Stamkos. I don't know the way things are going there. I don't know what that really looks like or the realistic possibility of his contract allows, but
I don't really know either.
I don't think he's done much for them at all.
I don't know.
Um,
Star-studded roster. And
and if I think looking at the weekend, I hate to say I'll allow losses. I'll allow a loss to Carolina and the Islanders, I think. Like I don't think I would get too hung up depending on how bad it is. Just because they're better teams. And again, you're going
but at
to
some point, we need to beat an actual
you
good
do need to beat an
team.
actual team though, right? And that's the problem. Like, do you worry that they've buried themselves too much in a hole? We kind of touched on it last week. And now the whole theme in the locker room post game Saturday and with John Hines was, well, it's a new month. We're turning the page on the new month. It's like, yeah, but you did a really, really bad job in that first month of hockey.
It's tough to say. I don't know. I feel that's always the mentality is that they can dig themselves back out. But I just, for one season, would like to see the Wild not have to play with their back against the wall
Yeah.
just once.
I mean, it's kind of incredible because I know we've said it before and we'll continue to say it. So obviously, you have some time before American Thanksgiving, and I say American because I know we have some Canadians that listen to this as well. And the theme is at American Thanksgiving, where you are in the standings is where you're going to fall toward the end of the season. Now, it's usually pretty accurate, right? Like that's you've
Mhm.
had enough games, it makes sense. There's a logic behind it. It's not just a superstitious thing. It tends to be pretty accurate. And they always say also that you can't win the Stanley Cup in October, but you sure as hell can lose it. And I think the Minnesota
Mhm.
Wild definitely have lost it. I mean, you have 4 wins on the season. That is not good. It is not good. Plus, you look at how hard we've already talked about how hard the Central is, but the West in general to get that wild card spot is going to be incredibly hard this year. It's like if this happens in the East, I'm not as worried about it. You have enough really good teams and enough really, really bad teams. And the West is not that way. You have a ton of really good teams, and then you have a ton of good teams, and then middle ground. Like there's just no huge. I mean, you have your drop off a little bit with, Calgary and maybe your San Jose's, right? But that's it. Like the rest of the teams, it's all discombobulated, and I don't know where Minnesota fits in that mix, frankly.
I think where things sit right now, we fall between good and not good.
Yeah, that sounds right. What's a word for
That's where
that?
we currently fall.
So it's a bad? Is bad the middle ground or is bad beneath not good?
I think bad is beneath not good. I
Okay.
think right now, just not good. We're in the danger zone.
Danger zone's definitely yellow. Um, yeah, I don't know. It not I'm not concerned because they are what they are, right? Like it is what it is. I don't know that I'm overly concerned there, and we'll talk a little bit about that coming up with our buy or sells and with our cues with the Beauties. Shout out to everybody who did that. But before we get to all of that, I want to let you guys know if you're looking for the newest Soda Stick garb to add to your Minnesota sports collection, you can now find Soda Stick at all Pure Hockey stores across Minnesota. That's right, all 9 different locations. All of your Soda Stick faves. Don't miss out. As always, though, if you're shopping online at sodastick.com, Bardown Beauties at checkout for 15% off discount code. We love us some Soda Stick. Shout out to our friends. Pretty huge that they're getting into the Pure Hockey stores. They also still have their Gus Bus tees available at Hockey Lodge at Grand Casino Arena as well. So good on them for a little shopping excursion, if you will, to grab some of that merch. We love it.
Especially now that we're in the holiday season.
Did you already decorate your house for Christmas?
No, because I need to deep clean my house, but I did take all Halloween down and I went Christmas decor shopping yesterday and I bought me and Bodie matching pajamas, as well as he got a jacket and a new Christmas sweater too.
Is this going to be for Christmas cards?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Stay tuned. I take my Christmas cards very seriously.
I know you do, and we love you for it. You're a better person for it. I sometimes do, sometimes I don't. I'm a hit or miss person. But the Minnesota Wild continue to be hit or miss as well. Kirsten, what is one move that signals that this is a cup pushing team and not just like a maintenance team, right? Like, how many roster spots do you think at this present time are fixable versus requiring a future rebuild? And do you think this team needs to trade, adjust, or just wait? Like, I know that's a whole bunch of questions, but it's all kind of saying the same thing. Like, what do you do with this team right now?
Right now, I do think you do need to do a trade. I don't exactly have the answer of who for who, but we talked about it. And you know what? Maybe it is the new month. They did just come off of a win. Maybe they are turning the page. Too soon to say. I think tomorrow's game against Nashville is really going to be the test, as well as they end the homestand.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, up to this point, it's just been like something's got to give. And it's like, you're not going to fire Bill Guerin. I don't think, at least not right now. You're not going to fire John Hines. Like, he also hasn't even been here long enough, regardless of if he's on the hot seat or not. Next move is you have to move players. And I think that comes sooner than later.
Is everybody on the roster, aside from Kirill, right? And probably Gus and Boldy. I think your locks are Boldy, Faber, Kirill, and Gus. That's it, which is less than what we have usually said, or than I have usually said in the past. Is there anybody else that you think is untradeable? Now, put contracts aside and what your no moves look like and what your no trades look like. I think, in my opinion, everybody else I would be willing to entertain the idea of moving. And yes, that includes Joel Eriksson Ek. And yes,
I was just about to say no to Joel Eriksson Ek. I think Joel Eriksson Ek is a lock. I was wanting to say Joel Eriksson lock.
You should. Joel Eriksson lock.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you not think?
Because when you look at his game, he does so many things that are so hard to replicate. Like, he is just everywhere. He's so consistent. And also, too, recency bias. Look at that filthy pass to Vladimir Tarasenko the other night. Like, you can't teach that.
See, now I'll push back. I think he has not been good this season at all. Not to the standard that I have for him, right? Like, that was a sick pass, though. Like, even Tarasenko had to compliment that, but that's okay.
Okay, so but if you're talking about standards, Brock Faber, he also wasn't playing to the standard that we had seen from him this season.
Yeah, but he's
so
younger.
Historically,
right. I don't know. There's something off this year about Eriksson Ek, because usually I'm 100% in there with you. Like, I'm like, gosh, I just, you can't, like you said, you can't teach and coach what Joel Eriksson Ek brings, but he's not getting into his greasy areas. He's not winning the faceoffs. That is killing me, and that is killing this team. And maybe it's part of his growing pain. He'll get there, but Joel Eriksson Ek to me has been, I don't want to say a disappointment because it's still a small sample size. He has been, what's this thing that you could say to a child that's like, I'm not mad, or I'm just disappointed. But maybe I am disappointed. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Kind of like Jonas Brodin, too. That's fair, because I think the majority of players on this team have not played well and have not played like we'd expect, like Kirill included.
True, 100%. And Jonas Brodin, maybe he unlocked a little something extra after he gets his goal the other night too. I hope so. But he's another player that surprises me when I'm saying, yeah, I'd be willing to part ways with the Jonas Brodin. You know, like I never have said that, I don't think, the entirety of his career. And there's just something to me that seems a little off. Now, again, the value for him, I think, is less than what the value would be for Joel Eriksson Ek. Um, but I think the unfortunate circumstance that surrounds trades is if you want to get somebody back that's actually going to make an impact and be of value, you're going to have to give up something of value. It's not just
Hmm.
your Liam Ogrens and your Tyler Pitlicks and your Hunter Hates, right? Like you're going to have to give to take as well. And I think that's why I entertain the idea. You had mentioned not knowing names, but there's been names that have been speculated, Kirsten, out there that are available. Nazim Kadri, because Calgary is just god awful. He's a centerman. He's 35 years old. Right now, he's
No,
got 3 goals. 10. Is it because I said 35?
correct. No,
But that makes him a Bill Guerin interest, and you know it. You,
of
I, and
course.
everybody else. Like, we know that's what he would absolutely look at. Again, he's got the center position. Um, Calgary probably is going to fire sale sooner rather than later. So if Minnesota decides that they are desperate and need that, I think Kadri does make probably a lot of sense. He's affordable too, which is good. He had 35 goals last year and 67 points. Pavel Zacha, 28 years old, probably more of a bottom six player, but he's a name that I think, with how poor the Boston Bruins are performing too, is a possibility. And Casey Middlestead, I'm not even going to get into it because it's a no for me. But would you do Zaka or Middlestead as entertaining ideas?
No,
Neither of them? None of
no,
them? So not no to all three of those players.
no to all three. I say let's get a better draft pick.
Oh, so you would rather just like on the
It's
year?
not what I want, but also I'm just like, if the market isn't that impressive right now, which it's not.
I don't know. I think they're going to kick the tires hard on Kadri, especially if he's in town on Sunday. We can all take a closer look. I agree. I don't love that he's 35. Um, and I don't believe he's been on a where was he before Calgary? He's been on no, he's been in the league for a while. I don't
I
know.
wanna, my gut is saying either I
Colorado.
want Colorado, and didn't he have a
Yes.
stint in Edmonton?
Yes, maybe. Yeah, he's been around the block a little bit. Casey
I think he
Middlestead, I
had a
just
stint for like a season in Edmonton. That or there was some drama with Edmonton and him. I don't know. There's
that
something
feels
about
right.
Edmonton that I link Kadri to.
Yeah, that makes sense. Middlestead, he has a center, he's playing at wing. I don't know, Zaka maybe wouldn't be too bad just because he's 28. Like he's got a little bit still left there. Would you trade a Ryan Hartman?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because as we just got, like, he's been performing well. He started off hot, dipped out, coming back around. Would you trade a Marcus Foligno?
Yes. But I wouldn't trade them for the options on the table right now, is the
Right.
thing.
Okay. Yeah, and I feel like Moose, you're again not going to get as much back. Granted, there's the leadership. Would you trade a Jared Spurgeon?
Yes. He also, if you're talking about players that have not played to their standard, he is another one of them.
Says a lot if you're trading that captain. But yeah, I mean, I don't
We've seen it
disagree.
before.
I don't disagree.
Maybe not in Minnesota, but we've seen it around the league many
Oh, for sure. And
times.
I don't think captains should be off limits, right? Like, granted, they're wearing a C for a reason, but yeah, there are certain times. Now, I will give Jared Spurgeon credit for, I think, continuously creating that culture room or that culture room, that locker room culture that has helped buoy this team to success or helped buoy them through these tough times. I know he took the initiative, as Michael Russo in The Athletic reported the other day, to be texting John Hines and having a players only meeting. I worry that it wasn't like as harsh as it should have been. Like you guys are just not playing well. Like I do think, and even John Hines confirmed this, that calling out a player's toughness is one of the like hardest things you could suggest to a player. But I would argue that they haven't been playing tough and that they hadn't been playing hard enough. And I don't know that those words would ever be said directly to the players in the players only meeting, but I would rather that than just kind of the soft, nice touch to it. I don't know though, of course.
It's tough to say.
Um,
It's tough to say. I don't know. Somebody says that to me, I'll probably just cry. It's why I am not a professional hockey player.
That's true. No, I mean, it doesn't take much to make me cry. I'll be honest. It happens pretty frequently, in fact. Let's dive into some cues of abuse before we close out with our buy or sell. This one coming, Kirsten, from Urban Champ. He says, why couldn't the Wild just keep the losing going against Vancouver? Now Hines feels like he knows the right line combos when we all know his lines are trash. My question to you then, Kirsten, too. Do you like the line combinations as they are? Do you think that they should have, or do you think they should have kept losing against Vancouver? John Hines gets fired and just let the whole thing run off the rails.
The thing is, John Hines, I don't think would get fired. Like, he
Yeah,
hasn't been here that long. Like, I don't think, like, honestly, I feel Bill Guerin would be more of the scapegoat this time around than John Hines.
I think so. And I don't think, I mean, I think Hines was safe either way, but to me, Billy's seat's just as hot. It's definitely warm.
I think it's hotter than John Hines's.
Yeah, but you never fire the coach or you never fire the GM before the coach, right?
I don't know, but we fired Dean.
Yeah, but you still have the same GM. You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like you're
I
not,
know, but I'm just saying, I
yeah.
think that would be the next shakeup. But who knows? Next question. Austin C. Do you guys think Yurov and Ogren can break the top two lines before trade deadline? And if they don't, do you think that one of them become trade pieces for a top six player by or at the trade deadline?
I do hate that they sat Danila Yurov in favor of Ben Jones the other night. And unfortunately, they did win. So I can see that being something that sticks. I liked Yurov in the top six. Again, he has some growing to do. He is young. This is his first go at it. I don't think they will trade him. I think they're already showing that they're giving him more leeway than they are Liam Ogren, who is down in the American Hockey League. I don't think we see Liam Ogren again. I think that Liam Ogren will be a trade piece. Ogren, by the way, getting the overtime winner, I believe, for Iowa the other night. Like, it maybe I'm blinded by like being told that he was going to be so good, like, oh, he's going to be this great player. He's a first round pick. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is an AHL player. I don't know because I haven't seen enough of him in the NHL to say that I don't want him in the AHL. That's the only reason I keep harping on that. It's not necessarily just because we're being told that he was this great prospect, but it's because I literally haven't seen with my own two eyes enough to say that he's not a good enough NHL player.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the biggest disappointment. As I said, I want to see the young guys play a lot more than our veteran guys. And I wouldn't necessarily say a lot of our vets have earned their roster spot either.
Yeah. Last cue before we dive into some buy or sell. Brandon Kuntz wants to know, what do you think would be the biggest difference in the season turning around for the Wild? Is it Zuki coming back, which, as we mentioned, could be in the next week or so, according to John Hines last week? Would it be a big trade or would it be a coaching change? Or anything else, too?
I think the biggest shakeup would be a big trade coming.
Mm-hmm. Do you
I
still
just,
see
I have
how-
a gut feeling something is going to happen, but I don't know what, and I don't know for who. I mean, think about it though. It's been a hot minute since we've seen a big trade happen for the Wild, where in the sense during the season we lose one of the guys we have come to know as one of like our key players per se.
That's a good point. I think the last one that I recall was when you broke up that core when they missed the playoffs
Mm-hmm.
a few years back, right? When you got rid of Coyle and Zucker and Granlund
Yep.
and Dumba and
I think it was Granlund for Fiala,
it was
right?
Granlund for Fiala. Yep. Um, and Charlie Coyle was on the plane and got pulled off the plane, and it was a whole thing. So
Yep.
definitely been a while since. And you're right, it would have to be like that. Now, granted, if they start winning, I think that cools that talk, right? And it gets pushed back to trade deadline, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. I think that's the way to go. Zuccarello coming back is probably going to make a difference
It
because
will
it will.
absolutely make a difference. I just don't think it's going to be the difference maker everyone thinks it would be.
100%. All right. Got three buy or sells for you, Kirsten. Are you ready?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought you were just going to keep rolling.
I mean, that would have been the way to do it, but sometimes I like to hear the yes, yes, I am. Let's go. All right, my
Yes,
first
ma'am.
one. I hate being called ma'am.
I know that's why I said it.
Rude, rude. Marco Rossi will become a true number one center option. Currently on a 5-game point streak for Mr. Rossi. Do you buy or sell that idea? Number one.
I buy anything Marco Rossi does. He's been one of the best players on our team.
He really has. Again, like there's
Him and Marcus Johansson, best players on our team.
Marcus Johansson. Yep. You think he'll be a number one seed? Because you've always been on the
I do.
Jules Eriksson number one train, though.
Yeah, but also Marco Rossi.
I mean, you have been on both, but you can only have one.
I have
You can only have one number one. Who's your number one?
Marco Rossi.
Okay. All right. There we have it.
He just doesn't have the size, but man, he's a quick little guy.
He's a quick little guy. He has a very heavy, like kind of facial beard going on now, but it looks very different on him. I don't know if you've seen it. It throws me off like tremendously. Like I'm just like, oh, it's there. It feels
he's coming
like,
back grizzled this season.
Well, F you in his game, right?
Mm-hmm. Love it. I love it.
Do you buy or sell the idea that a heavy veteran presence is holding this team back?
I'm hesitant on that one because I think I buy it in the sense that it's holding us back from advancing in the postseason. I think the heavy veteran presence keeps us very complacent with where we are. So I buy it in that sense.
I buy it in a different sense where, as we mentioned, it's keeping other young players from stepping into roles that maybe they're more deserving of, right? Like, I think that's been my angst with the construction of the team, is putting these veteran, or as we like to say, old players higher up in the lineup when maybe they're not necessarily deserving of that opportunity. Now, yes, again, experience speaks volumes when it comes to the National Hockey League, when it comes to professional sports. I get that. But that's my biggest issue I have with veterans and holding the team back. But great point to your testament is, yeah, it's also they're too old to be in the playoffs then sometimes. Pretty much. Final buy or sell for this week. Philip Gustafson can carry the team to a playoff series win, even if the defense plays at a minimum average. Do you buy or sell that Gus can be the lock back there, even when the defense struggles, which, as we've mentioned, has been the case so far this year too?
At this moment in time, I'm selling because I've seen Gus let in some very soft goals recently. Okay. That's more on him than the defense.
Yeah, I agree. Gus hasn't been outstanding to me by any stretch. We talked about it last week. He's not stealing games, which I think can be a lot. But I'm going to buy the idea because I do think it's within him to be able to do it. Like, we've seen that before, and maybe him, like every single other player on this team, November's a new month. Maybe we start to see that. But I think if he could, when Gus is on, he's on. We know that, right? So let's let's just get to that. Again, Minnesota Wild, busy week this week, back in action against Nashville, and then on the road for 2, and then back home again on Sunday against the Calgary Flames. On behalf of Kirsten and Soda Stick and our friends at Score North, we appreciate you. Don't forget to check out all of Score North's other content, Jed's Hockey Show, as well as Flagrant Howls, Purple Daily, all the good stuff. We will see you guys soon. I did want to give a shout out to Brad Teresa, who asked if any of the guys on the Wild are cat dads or are they just dog people, because she is a cat lady. I don't think so. I feel like they're all dog people, but I don't know for sure. I will find out.
I think they're all dog people.
They seem like dog people, right? There's got to be one cat person in the mix.
There has to be just like a cat in the
We'll find out
somewhere.
Teresa will find out, because I thought that was a very fun question, because you're right. I don't know that there's cat people out there for the Wild, but we'll see. Have a great rest of your week. We will talk to you later. Bye. Near.